The first time Evelyn met Daniel, it was under the old oak tree at the edge of the town park. She sat on the cool grass, sketchbook resting on her knees, a pencil dancing over paper. Her messy hair fell into her face as she tried to capture the way the late afternoon sun spilled through the oak's ancient branches. She loved this place. The silence, the whispers of wind through leaves, the feeling that time stood still. When a shadow fell across her page, she looked up. A tall man stood there, holding a worn paperback, his smile easy but shy. "Beautiful," he said softly. Evelyn hesitated. "The tree?" He tilted his head. "Both." That was how it began, a conversation about trees, art, and books. They discovered they both came here to escape the rush of the world. That day, they stayed until the sun dipped below the horizon, the golden light fading into the blue of early evening. When they finally said goodbye, something in Evelyn's chest felt different. From then on, the oak became their place. Every Friday evening, they would meet there. Sometimes they brought coffee, sometimes pastries, sometimes nothing but themselves. Under that tree, Evelyn showed Daniel her sketches, pages filled with dreamscapes, little details of the world others never noticed. In return, Daniel read her lines from his favorite books, his voice warm and steady. They talked about their dreams, hers of opening an art studio, his of writing a novel, and their fears, the kind they never shared with anyone else. Seasons changed. The oak's leaves turned golden in autumn, carpeting the ground like a blanket of fire. Winter came. The tree's branches bare against pale skies, and they would sit wrapped in scarves and gloves, hands hidden in pockets, but eyes warm with silent affection. Spring returned with its blossom-scented breeze, and their feelings bloomed with it. Then came that rainy evening. Evelyn sat on their usual bench, an umbrella shielding her from the steady drizzle. The air smelled of wet earth and fresh rain, but Daniel was nowhere to be seen. Minutes turned to an hour. Her coffee went cold. Her heart sank with each passing moment. Just as she decided to leave, she heard hurried footsteps splashing through puddles. Daniel appeared, breathless and soaked, hair dripping rain into his eyes. "I thought you weren't coming," she said, relief and worry mixing in her voice. He smiled, pulling something from his jacket pocket, a small, velvet box, its corners damp but intact. "I couldn't wait another day," he said, his voice shaking. He dropped to one knee, the grass wet beneath him. "This tree saw the day I met you. It saw the first time you laughed at my terrible jokes. It saw the first time I realized I loved you. And I wanted to see this moment too, the day I promised to love you forever." Rain slid down Evelyn's cheeks, mixing with tears she couldn't hold back. Her answer was a whisper, but it carried all the certainty in her heart. Yes. The park was empty except for them and the great oak, its branches swaying gently as if in approval. Years later, the oak would still stand, stronger, taller, and beneath its shade, their children would play, not knowing that this was where their parents' love story began. And whenever Evelyn and Daniel passed by, they would exchange the same quiet smile, remembering the day when forever began under the whispers of the old oak.